If you find this summary helpful, start with a free trial for podcast summaries on Apple Podcasts and Spotify for detailed summaries. So let's dive into what Ray Dalio shared about the state of the world and how it affects us as individuals. He believes that there are 5 big forces that create a big cycle that lasts about 80 years, and we're currently in a period of significant change. These forces include the money debt force, internal conflict, geopolitical force, acts of nature, and man's inventiveness, particularly in new technologies. He emphasizes that understanding how these forces interact is crucial for predicting the future and making informed decisions. When it comes to the UK, Ray Dalio is not optimistic about its future, citing its high debt, social internal conflict, and lack of a culture that supports entrepreneurship and innovation. He believes that the US, on the other hand, has a culture of entrepreneurship and inventiveness, which makes it a more conducive environment for starting a business. Ray Dalio also talks about the importance of understanding one's nature and finding a path that's suitable to it. He emphasizes that people are born with certain preferences and inclinations, and it's essential to know what those are to make informed decisions about one's life and career. In terms of the future, Ray Dalio believes that the US is playing a risky game, with significant debt, internal conflict, and a changing world order. He also mentions that China is rising as a dominant power, and the transition may not be smooth. So, what can we do as individuals to handle these risks and uncertainties? Ray Dalio advises being aware of the situation and the risks, building financial strength, and being prepared to adapt and move to better places if necessary. He also emphasizes the importance of investing wisely and having a diversified portfolio. However, by understanding these forces and taking proactive steps, we can better navigate the uncertainties and create a more secure future for ourselves and our families. He's had a lot of pain in his life, and he's learned to deal with it in a way that's really valuable. He's developed principles for dealing with reality, and he's learned to reflect on his experiences in a way that helps him understand how reality works. He's also talked about the importance of meditation in his life, and how it's helped him to calm down and get centered. He's even developed a system of decision-making that's based on principles, and he's computerized those principles so that he can backtest them and see how they would have worked in different situations. He's also talked about the importance of being open-minded and assertive at the same time. He thinks that one of the greatest tragedies of mankind is holding a strong opinion that's wrong, and not being open to learning more. He thinks that people should be curious and open to challenge, and that they should be willing to change their minds if they're presented with new information. Ray Dalio's story is a great example of how someone can use pain and reflection to learn and grow, and how they can develop principles and systems that help them make better decisions. He's also talked about the importance of community and meaningful relationships, and how those things can bring happiness and fulfillment. He's also talked about the importance of hard work and determination. He thinks that hard work gives you power, and that it's essential for achieving success. He's also talked about the importance of being open-minded and assertive, and how those qualities can help you to learn and grow. Ray Dalio's story is a great example of how someone can use hard work and determination to achieve success, and how they can develop the qualities and principles that are necessary for achieving their goals. Ray Dalio talked about how he learned to be humble and open-minded, and how that helped him become a better decision-maker. He also emphasized the importance of taking in information before making a decision, and not just relying on your own instincts or biases. Another thing that really resonated with me is the idea of creating a culture of radical transparency and honesty. Ray talked about how he did this at Bridgewater and how it helped to build trust and foster meaningful relationships among his team members. Ray talked about how he's always looking for ways to improve and evolve, and how he's not afraid to challenge his own assumptions and biases. Ray talked about how he learned to do this, and how it helped him to achieve more and be more productive. Ray talked about how he's always looking for ways to improve and evolve, and how he's not afraid to ask for help when he needs it. Ray talked about how he did this at Bridgewater, and how it helped to build trust and foster meaningful relationships among his team members. Ray talked about how he's always looking for ways to improve and evolve, and how he's not afraid to challenge his own assumptions and biases. Ray talked about how he's always looking for ways to improve and evolve, and how he's not afraid to challenge his own assumptions and biases. Ray talked about how he's always looking for ways to improve and evolve, and how he's not afraid to challenge his own assumptions and biases.